Hello, collective. Thank you for tuning in to my video, my Instagram TV. I decided that Wednesdays are my general collective readings, and today I put out a new moon reading for Capricorn season. And I've really been feeling into my Capricorn energy this month. Sorry, I dropped the card. Teamwork. That's exactly what this whole reading is about. So I've been tapping into my Capricorn energy a lot this month and really like fine-tuning my goals and fine-tuning them in a way where I can really get a clearer picture about what I want to do and how I want to share my gifts and how I want to grow myself a secure foundation for my life, and also like my long-term goals as well, because I have major goals, but right now I'm really called to start where I can. And you know, I have a gift and I have a talent with tarot, like toot my own horn. So this is where I'm beginning. And I'd like to share that with you. And I don't have a very big following, and I don't mind that. But I still want to, you know, put myself out here and start somewhere. Because you got to start somewhere. If you don't start anywhere, you're never going to get anywhere. If you don't start somewhere, you're not going to get anywhere, basically. Anyway, so I wanted to take the new moon spread that I created for tonight, for the beautiful Capricorn moon, and I wanted to kind of rework it for the collective, and I wrote down my goal. And right now most of my readings are basically surrounded around how we can manifest our best life, because that's essentially like, that's what everybody wants, right? So that's where my focus has been while I've been figuring out what my posting schedule is going to be, what readings I want to offer collectively, etc., like that, and my pick-up piles and all that, which is going to be changing. I know I just kind of like eased into a schedule, but I'm going to tweak it just a little bit, just a very little bit. And that's going to be starting, I suppose, this weekend. Or tomorrow, actually. It's going to be starting tomorrow. So instead of doing as above, so below like I did last week, I'm going to do a collective new moon Capricorn from the spread that I created myself. And I'm quite proud of, actually. I've always wanted to do these moonology posts, and I started actually in Aries season on YouTube, but then COVID happened and everybody was sent home, and some people were bored going out of their mind, but I'm one of those people who have kids. So it's a little different for me. I kind of, all my solace and time to work was whisked away. And that's what I've been learning. That's if you've been following my personal tarot challenge I've been doing with the Biddy Tarot Challenge, you'll notice like this month I started on some heavy messages of like the Tower. What was it? It was the Tower. There was the Hanged Man in there. No Devil, thankfully. But yeah, I basically I'm in this. I have been my whole life trying to learn how to go with the flow with transitions. I'm a Pisces, so like I am very go with the flow until water gets a little choppy, and then I'm like, whoa, not used to this. Then I try to swim upstream. It doesn't work. So that's been my lesson this month, and that's what really I'm focused on for my internal, because Capricorn is also like personal development to get you past yourself and over obstacles by growing yourself within and getting over like things that limit you. That's very Cappy as well, which is in my spread. So for the collective, our goal is manifesting our best life. That's what I wrote our goal down, and I did financially, physically, and developmentally, because I feel like those are pretty Capricorn qualities. So, Spirit, angels, guides, ancestors, our highest selves, the ascended masters, and anybody and everybody of the highest truth, compassion, love, and vibration, please come through with clear message for me and the collective. How we can best learn from this new moon in Capricorn to manifest our best life and our best self. How can our current vision better align with our collective goals? What qualities do we have to work on collectively to achieve our goals? What foundations have we secured collectively to do our work? And what unrealistic expectations do we need to adjust to achieve our collective goal? And what needs attention in the collective that will help us move towards our goal? Those are the questions, Spirit, please. When I'm finished shuffling, would you have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in order? Thank you, Spirit. May you use me as a clear channel, a vessel for your messages. We appreciate your guidance, and we are always gratitude for your gracious and loving compassion towards bettering ourselves and aligning with our highest potential and our highest truth. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like this one, and that's going to go on the bottom. Okay. So, how our current vision better aligns us with our collective goals. We have the High Priestess. And what qualities do we have to work on collectively to achieve our goal? We have the Six of Pentacles. What foundations have we secured collectively to do our work? We have the Star in reverse. What unrealistic expectations do we need to adjust to achieve our collective goal? We have the Emperor in reverse. And what needs attention in the collective that will help us move towards our goal is the Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, on the back, we've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. I'm going to pull some clarifiers on our last one there, what needs attention, because that's like our moving forward message. So under the deck in our shadow, what we're not really consciously focusing on, but is kind of like having an influence on our life, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So this is telling me that I don't get the message that we're being too compassionate or like thinking too much with our heart, because I believe as a collective, maybe not the collective that, I believe in separate collectives. Like there's a collective that does this and a collective that does that. It's like separate missions, right? I don't believe this card, and I don't believe the collective that I'm a part of is two in their heart. I believe I'm connected to a collective that is tuning into the heart space. So the Queen of Swords in reverse, I don't get that that collectively in the shadow that we are two in our heart, unless that means our emotions are manifesting in a distorted way that is not helping us for our betterment and our highest good. Which would make sense with foundation, our foundational card being the Star in reverse. Okay, this does make sense then. So in our shadow collective, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, and that's telling us we need to kind of heal our emotional body. It's a good thing that we're connected to our compassion and we're leading with our heart, but if you're leading with a heart space that's wounded or not leading with healthy emotions, then we need to kind of tune into what it is within us that is not manifesting in a healthy manner in our relationships and our perspectives of other people and our perspectives in our relationships, and also in our worldview, our outer perception. This could be manifesting as like judging others, judging ourselves. If we judge ourselves, we judge others. Not coming from a place of acceptance for self or for others. This could be victimizing others, victimizing self, patronizing people, playing the martyr, or martyrizing other people, making people give things up that they don't like, you know, making people fight for things when they don't have to, in a way, like, if you're not giving somebody something that they're asking for, and there's somebody that you love, or somebody, and like, you're not meeting in the middle. Like, say somebody says they want, how can I put this in a way? Say somebody, you're in a relationship, or like, you know somebody, and they want something from you, and you love them, but like you don't have it in you to give that to them, and you can't tell them that because you don't have the either the strength and conviction, or like the personal boundaries to be like, I'm sorry, I can't actually give this to you, and I know you want it, but they keep fighting and fighting and fighting for it, and you're not really being clear on saying, I can't give this to you. That's kind of forcing them into a martyr role. And that's sort of like victimizing them. And that comes from victimizing yourself, because like, if you don't have personal boundaries, and if you don't have like the strength in yourself to like say no when you need to say it, or like be able to adjust and come to terms with people and be like, I love you, but I can't offer you this, not right now. I need to do things for myself first. Like, we need to be able to say that to people that we love without it becoming an argument, or without people getting hurt feelings, because it's like, we want to do everything we can for the people that we love, but we do have to take care of ourselves first, and we have to make sure that we have our own self covered. It's like, cover your ass, right? If you're covering your own ass, you can cover the ass for everybody else. It's like that Queen of Cups message. It's like, serve yourself first, your well-being, and make sure that you have that strong connection, and that strong connection to self, so that way you can connect to other people, and you can serve from your full heart space and fill theirs, right? Okay, so, oh my gosh, we're already 22 minutes in, and I haven't even got to the spread yet. I guess this is going to be a long one. I think IGTV only does 30 minutes. Let's get to this. Okay, so how can our current visions better align us to our collective goals? The High Priestess. That is easy. That is connecting to what I was just saying, that connecting to our inner selves, our inner truths. Because our inner truths, when we connect to our inner truths, we're able to, I feel like a broken record sometimes. When we connect to our personal truths, our inner truths, it's like what makes sense to us. We are able to speak clearly to other people what our beliefs are, what our perceptions are, what we need, what we want to give, etc. Like, when we know ourselves within and we understand ourselves, then we are able to tell people quite clearly like what our view is, and that helps other people actually hear us and understand us, and understand the situation and the relationships between us, because everything's clear and nothing's murky. And with the the High Priestess, in how we can align our vision better to our collective goals, it's basically saying like, get to know ourselves a little bit better, so that way we can show our true, genuine self to other people, and speak our own genuine truth to other people, so people can hear the real truth and the real wisdom coming from within, and they can share their own real wisdom and true wisdom and their own truth, right? So that involves spending a lot of time with yourself, quieting your mind without any outside distractions. I love meditating. I love journaling. I do it a lot. And every day I'm journaling, whether it's goals, ambitions, about things happening in my life, or my own thoughts, my feelings, etc. Tarot spreads I count as journaling, because sometimes, like, when I can't get my own thoughts in order, because I know sometimes you don't want to look at your own thoughts, and I understand that. I definitely do. And if you don't want to look at your own thoughts, that's what I love about tarot, is because tarot can, like, it's like that therapist that's saying, maybe you should look at this, and I'm going to give it to you gently. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I won't give it to you gently, but it's a lot easier than having to, like, having that come to Jesus moment with yourself. Anyways, so yeah, that message here is, how can our current vision better align us with our collective goals? Is like getting in touch with yourself so that way you can be truthful with other people about what you want to do, where you want to go, how you plan to get there. And that also helps other people if they can help you, and they know what you want to do, and they know where you're going, and if they have the skills to help you get there, then they can help you. And what's more beautiful than that? Than that teamwork? Remember that the Three of Pentacles that popped out in the pre-shuffle, or in the shuffle. What qualities do we have to work on collectively to achieve our goals? We got the Six of Pentacles, just leaping right on to what I was just talking about. So to help each other, yes, we have to work on how we help each other. And that's coming from our personal truth, our inner wisdom. That way we are able to speak clearly and receive clearly, right? And I don't think that message can get any clearer. So I'm going to move on because I'm looking at the time, right? I'm sorry, I want to get to as many. And I think that message, I already pretty much cleared that up with this High Priestess. Defining your inner truth, defining what your wisdom actually is, the message that you want to convey to other people. And that's what we need to work on developing in ourselves to help the collective goal, is being able to give and receive, hearing other people and being able to speak clearly to them. And sharing our heart space, because it does take emotional strength to be candid, and it does take emotional strength to be authentic and genuine with other people. But when you are genuine, I promise you, and when you are authentic, I promise you that not everybody's going to love it, no, but forget them, because they don't even matter. They're not on your life path. They aren't aligned with your goals. When you are genuine and candid, the real people who are meant to help you and meant to see you for who you actually are. They can't find you if you're not being genuine. They can't they don't trust you if you're not genuine. They can't find you if you're not authentic. And if you're not being candid with people, they'll see right through you, right? And they'll be like, she's hiding something, right? She's hiding something back here. Okay. So what foundations have we secured collectively to do our work? We haven't lost faith, and we haven't lost touch with what we know. We collectively, it's been hard and it's been slow, and we're being vulnerable. At least we're trying to be. We're working on that. We are using that High Priestess energy, the shadow work, going within our darkness and going within our shadow, and really trying to find ourselves in there. And collective shadow work takes a lot of people doing it for us to advance as a collective. It means everybody's got to be focusing on these things and these themes, and, like, you know, healing our inner child and balancing our masculine, our feminine energies, and bringing it into a healthy, divine energy opposed to distorted. Because, you know, even if you are balanced with your masculine and your feminine, like, it could be still a little distorted. And that's where a lot of the distortedness coming and going and hearing and talking happens. So we have secured the star, but it's not, we're not quite there yet. And it's like, we need more people connecting to their authentic self, and we need more people understanding their wounding and their traumas, and looking at those kinds of things, and kind of bringing it up and grounding ourselves. Because once you move through all the wounds and all that, you have so much space left in you. The weight is lifted, and you have so much space to start allowing things in that are healthy for you. And when you're not thinking about your problems, because you know you've dealt with those inner problems, like you're still gonna have problems coming at you from your life. That happens. But like when you've kind of worked through those inner problems, they're not problems anymore. You transform your perception, and it no longer has the weight to hold you down, and it no longer controls you. You're not in your head so much thinking about them, because you've already processed them, and they're kind of like background noise. Like you think about sometimes, like, oh yeah, like, you know, that used to bother me, and then when you've dealt with it, you can look at that problem from a removed perspective, like, wow, I actually went through that, and this is how it's changed me. And it's a really beautiful process. It's transformational. I love it. So what unrealistic expectations do we need to adjust to achieve our collective goals? Is the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor in reverse. Unrealistic expectations. This is control. This is like trying to force things along, trying to make things happen before we process them. What we need to work on, as for unrealistic expectations to adjust, is we need to turn this guy upside down. We need to put him back in the upright position. Right now we're in reverse. So we're limiting ourselves by trying to get ahead of ourselves. We're limiting ourselves by sort of, it's like spiritual bypassing. It's like, excuse me. It's like we want the bigger picture, and we want to manifest this best life, but we aren't doing that collective shadow work. I think I get that message so much in a lot of my readings. It's like shadow work is always on the table. It's like, do shadow work. And maybe it's because I started my spiritual journey with Carl Jung's teachings when I was like a real young girl. I was first introduced to Carl Jung at 12. But I didn't really like start understanding it and fully until I was about 15, 16 when I started with MBTI. And then from there I went into the Carl Jung, and I was like, this is some heavy stuff, and I don't think my 12-year-old brain can like process this quite yet. Yeah, I used to get the weirdest thoughts. Like I was 12 or 10, 11. I used to hang out in the library a lot. And I loved the metaphysical section, astrology and stuff, but like my young brain couldn't quite comprehend it perfectly. And random things would just come to mind. Like I remember being like 11 and just looking up alchemy. No idea why. I was just like, that's something. And then of course I found the lead to gold, and I was like, all these symbols. I was like, wow, why did I even think about this? Yeah, there was a reason. Anyways, so what unrealistic expectations do we need to adjust to achieve our collective goal? As we need to embody that we need to parent ourselves. We need to reparent ourselves, and we need to kind of soothe our wounds. We need to wrap ourselves in a big warm hug and say, it's okay, talk to me. Talk to yourself. I don't mean that in that crazy way. Like, I talk to myself all the time. I start, like, sometimes my thoughts manifest as me having a literal conversation with myself. When I'm, like, in a creative process or whatever, I start talking myself. I'm, like, bouncing the ball back and forth with myself. I'm a bit of a hermit. I don't have friends. Okay, I have friends, but, like, I'm a bit of a hermit. We need to stop trying to force things, and we need to sit down at the kitchen table and have a fucking, excuse my language, have a, like, a heartwarming conversation with ourselves and be like, what do you need? What do you really need to feel better? What do you really need to do to get where you want to go? What do you really need to achieve what you want? Because if you're being held back by yourself, if you are holding yourself back by not processing, like, the things that bother you, then they're just going to keep coming back up and causing problems in your life. Like I have a problem keeping relationships because I keep getting into relationships that, now, before I did my own shadow work, it was fine. Or, like, I was part of the problem. And, like, of course, I'm part of the problem, too. Now, my part of the problem is, like, it's a lot of emotional work. I end up doing a lot of emotional work for people a lot. And that's one of my problems. I'm trying to find my boundaries there. But I tend to attract people who just kind of want to paint me in their image, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm very much myself. And, like, it's a control. It's like they see me a certain way, and one of the things I have to work through is, like, how to healthily deal with people who do that for me, like, to me. And so that's something that I'm working on now. And it's finding those issues that are kind of holding you back in your personal relationships and in yourself. It's like your relationship with yourself and your relationship with others. Because, you know, as within, so without. How you are within is how is going to manifest without, right? So we need to parent ourselves. Reparenting is up on the table right now. And give ourselves that time and attention and that wisdom, the wise old sage talk, right? It's like, now, we're having a problem here. Your higher self called me and said, you know, you're not doing this homework. And I think it's time we look at that. Okay. Let's move on. 27 minutes. So what needs attention in the collective that will help us move towards our goal? The Page of Swords in reverse. Get focused. Get intentional about your thought processes. Get intentional about what you think, and how you can better your thoughts and start thinking more healthy thoughts, getting out of your head. And stop waving your sword of truth around saying, I know the way. And actually look at that sword of truth and use it as a mirror. Swords are shiny, right? Wow, I can't talk right now. Actually inspect that sword of truth. Look at your truth and find true wisdom in that truth, like your actual inner voice, right, of truth and reason. And you got to reason with yourself, and you got to, yeah, this is how my spreads go. Spirit is always just like picks a message and just doubles down on it, I swear. So really, guys, to move forward in our lives, we really need to just kind of inspect our personal problems, so that way we can heal our collective problems. It's collective shadow work time. I'm at 9:30 mark. 9:30. I think my brain's done today. 29:30 mark. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow with something new. It's just a reel. I'm changing Thursdays to a reel. Sunday and Thursday are coming together for a new, kind of the same merriment of that spread. pick a pile. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.